Right now information are reaching out, and even the leader of Burkina Faso is confirming that there are activities going on in Ivory Coast which involve terrorists being trained in Ivory Coast. Because the reason why I'm pulling this out is that there is constant terrorism happening in the Sahel, and we know anytime there is terrorism in the Sahel, they always link it to Al Qaeda and Islamic State. That is a lie. We know the state which is actually behind this particular terrorism attack. They are behind this. They are sponsoring these things, and they always try to link it to the Islamic State. Now, information are written that in Ivory Coast, the government of Ivory Coast has provided their own ground for the enemy to come and use their ground to fight their own brothers or their own sister country. That is information reaching out right now. And somebody will be asking, why is it that France is so eager to reclaim the Sahel? Let me tell you, uranium from the Sahel is playing one of the major role in the energy sector of France. In the 5 to 10 years to come, France is going to have a solid power crisis. That is number one. Number two, the three Sahel brothers, or let me say the Sahel sisters, these guys are trying to create their own currency, which simply means that they are going to move away from the CFA, which is the French currency. And the day this thing will happen, it is going to create a very big economic gap in the economy of France, because the use of CFA by the French African-speaking countries contributes to the well-being of France's economy. It contributes to France's economic performance on global stage. So if these three Sahel nations, the day they stop using the CFA, there's going to be a very big economic crisis. So two trouble, one God. You are going to have economic crisis together with what? Energy crisis. There's going to be a shift economically, because this is it. Simple mathematics. If you are doing business and then you are earning $1,000 weekly, and somehow anyhow there is a switch, and then you begin to earn $700 weekly, it will definitely affect you. You need to cut down some expenses and all that. What France is saying is that there's going to be protests against the government very soon because of these two development that is going to take effect very soon. That is why France is trying their best to reclaim the Sahel. And as I'm talking to you right now, there is a narrative war waged against the Sahel through Reuters News and Human Rights Watch, together with who? CNN. These three guys, they have joined together and they are waging narrative war. Let me give you a breaking point from Reuters News, what they are saying about the leader of Burkina Faso, what the narrative they are portraying about him. Let me show you. This article is from Reuters News. They are trying to tell you that the leader of Burkina Faso is growing increasingly wicked against his own people. Now listen, junta leader Ibrahim Traoré has become increasingly intolerant of critics since he ousted his predecessor Paul Henri Damiba, who had himself toppled Burkina Faso's last elected president month earlier. Both the 2022 coup stemmed in part from frustration about authorities' failure to stem the Islamic violence. They say Islamic violence. It is not Islamic violence. It is the Western violence against the Sahel. Like neighboring military-led Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso has cut ties with Western allies and turned to Russia for security support. They are trying to tell you that even turning to Russia for security support after breaking away from the West, you are still suffering, which means that both you, the military leader, and Russia, you are not able to handle the security issue in the country. That's what they are trying to tell us. Now let's go further. Yet violence has worsened significantly under Traoré. Analysts and humanitarian workers says the same people who sponsor the terrorists are the same people behind this article, the Human Rights Watch. Now let's go. Pay attention to this one. Meanwhile, dozens of civil societies activists, journalists, opposition politicians, and even magistrates have been abducted, tortured, and conscripted for speaking out against the junta. Rights group and Reuters have found they are lying. They are trying to paint this Ibrahim Traoré the same way they painted Gaddafi to the whole world. I'm telling you, the same way they painted Kwame Nkrumah to the whole world, that he is silencing people. He is putting people in lions' den, a whole lot of nonsense. Those stories we heard from childhood. When you go to read this, they are putting up a whole anti-narrative against the guy. They just want to paint the guy black. When you go to the Western media, let me pay attention to something. You don't go to the Western media and get the positive report of people who are speaking good about the leader of Burkina Faso. No, they are not interested in that. Their agenda is to paint the people black to you. When you go to the Western media, Reuters News, CNN, Human Rights Watch. Last time there was terrorist attack in, how do you call it? Burkina Faso. Do you know how the Human Rights Watch publish it? Look at it. They say Burkina Faso army executed over 220 villages, according to HRW, which is Human Rights Watch. Story by who? Reuters News. Posted by who? CNN. I told you, these three guys, be careful about them. When you are reading anything concerning Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger on Reuters News, a report by the Human Rights Watch and CNN, guys, be very careful. Because if you are not careful, we are going to dance on the same music they have been playing since the time of Gaddafi, Kwame Nkrumah and co. We are going to be dancing on it again. This time, no more.